Oh, fuck.
Yeah, so it's a really nice day out.
This little dog looks really interesting. I was kind of staring at it. I'm like, you look like a little alien, my dude. No cap. Like, the way it's built and everything, just not something I'm used to. Like, really just looking at it, I'm just like observing. I was a bit uncomfortable, so I kind of backed up. No. I like my privacy, I like my space. I just, yeah. I don't know if y'all can see, but there's hella dust being lifted and shit. Looks like its ear was cut off. Like, just look at that. It looks interesting. Like, this isn't to attack it, just I feel like I've never seen a dog. Like, it's like looking at a dog for the first time. Kind of thing. And being like, what? And its hair is so shiny. And that man just, if, what kind of dog it is and shit. And so he's gonna post it all over the place to make sure the dog finds a home. But, initially, dogs aren't supposed to be living in four walls. They're supposed to be living out, as should we. Whoa. That looks like a pretty big bird. A lot of shit going on today. Look at that wind. I remember Martina was telling me about her hike behind Mount Diablo with Angelina, and she was just, okay, yeah, now I'm uncomfortable with this dude. Yeah, he was kind of like, I want to take the dog. It needs a home. And what else did he say about the dog? He's just waiting for the dog. Like, it's weird. He wasn't wearing a mask, and then he put the mask on as soon as I got close. Now he's clapping at the dog. Yeah, he's like, I want him. Like, what? The fact that people just see shit as their property, like, bruh, that dog's just living its life, doing its thing. It looks so happy, by the way. And this dude's literally like, come here. It's just, something's weird. I don't know. Yeah, it makes me uncomfortable. But yeah, or was it I don't even think she went to Mount Diablo. I don't know, whatever. She said she was out, walking, and there was like a trail that like forked, into two different trails. And like there was a little, wind, little tiny tornado that was made. She's like, those are aliens. And she told her, like, Angelina the whole time, like, on the car ride there, about aliens and shit. And I'm just thinking about that. And like Martina, also when I was in Peru, she sent me a letter, a book, a numerology, a hoodie, a You Matter hoodie that was yellow, pastel yellow. And in the book there was this page she looked like she ripped out of her journal, writing down her birth numerology type bullshit. And like on that piece of paper it said aliens are magenta. Mind you, we don't see, I'm just thinking now, because it also said on that piece of paper, bad arguments can be pretty damn convincing off most of the time. Some shit like that. And whoa. I don't know if y'all saw that. Something just hit my head. So, and then the other thing, you know, I remember reading that and I'm like, I remember before even going in there, I was very much coming to a lot of conclusions that aliens do exist and that, you know, I've been saying it since I was a kid. I remember it was 6th grade. They were talking about Egypt, the pyramids, and the teacher asked us, she had like you know, those bullshit questions, like where you multiple choice questions, which really isn't a fucking choice. You're the one giving us like the options. Like, shut the fuck up. I feel like that perfectly explains America. They make you think you have a choice with multiple choice questions, but really it's just for their benefit at the end of the day. And if you answer it right, you're most likely a psychopath or something like that, because like the fact that you can like, because these tests are psychological, like they're meant to either, okay, so it's like 4 levels. Like, let's say there's just 4 questions. One of the questions is you're a complete idiot to them, aka completely free-minded. You know, that reminds me of ignorance is freedom. You know that quote from that one book by George Orwell, 1984, I believe? Like, I'm just thinking about that. It's just, it's interesting. Yeah, so one of the questions is you're completely free-minded. The second level is like you're sort of free-minded, but you're kind of conforming. The other one's you're conforming, but not to the max, and then you're completely conforming. And if you're completely conforming, you're perfect for society because you are not a threat to them. So it's just interesting. So the teacher asked, how were the pyramids built? And one of the answers she put up there was aliens. And I said, aliens. And she looked at me dead in my soul. So did the whole class. They're just like... And I think she even said, aliens don't exist. And I was like, why would you put that as an option then? And that takes me back to that quote that, like, now I just... it just baffles the fuck out of me, you know? Like, just thinking about it. How do you hide something in plain sight? In plain sight. So if you really have your... If you're really intuitive... Okay, that's weird. That truck finally moved. If you finally have, you know, your intuition working and you're listening to your intuition and you're very, you know, using all your abilities, clairaudience, clairvoyant, etc. That's really fucking weird. Okay, I swear these kids came from that way. Their car is right there. All 4 of them got in, but the car has not left, and it looks like it's empty. Just an observation. Why would you go to your car just to sit? I mean, I know people do that, but it's just sus. Because I know they don't live there. I have not seen them before, and like the little kids that live there, you know, are of a different skin color. These people are white. So I doubt they're related. Possible, but still weird. So yeah. The teacher decides to ask if aliens built the pyramids, which I've heard a lot of arguments on TikTok about this, how they say, ¿cómo se llama? Los pyramids, like the 7 world wonders, like let's say Teotihuacan or Chichen Itza in Mexico and Machu Picchu, Peru, right? I've only been to the ones in Mexico. I don't know the real name of Mexico, but that's just what I know it as. So, like, it's getting really chilly. Yeah, you know, they make like these documentaries and kind of make it seem as though ancient civilizations, which are still present today, so really they aren't ancient, they're still alive, very much present, and, you know, very much existent today. They make it seem as though those people were idiots and that really aliens built it. And that's just odd to me. like, I know I had the argument that aliens built it, but like just kind of thinking about that ideology that ancients are idiots and they know nothing and they're ignorant and this and that, etc., a bunch of bullshit. Like, how envious do you have to be of a civilization that you have to diss them completely, make it seem as though they're complete idiots throughout every single book that you've published, and all social media, just everywhere, you have to make it seem as though they're idiots. Yeah, like I followed this one TikToker, this one content creator. They posted, so they stitched a video of, you know, somewhere in Peru, like this beautiful wall that was created in ancient times, and there was an indigenous person walking the streets, and this white woman records her and says, "How is it that that tiny person created this?" And then the content creator that stitched the video said, she kind of like, I think it was the same content creator. She kind of was like, "Oh, well, yeah, there was people of this size, this size, this size. They found the bodies, and like, you know, really some of them were actually this big, some were this big, and like, this small, you know, like kind of like saying really interesting facts." And then was like, the fact that I don't know, she said something about like, how can you just diss on the people right in front of them in their land and post it on social media? Something along those lines, I believe. And it's just interesting. Anyway, I also remember when I was in the center, CC, the concentration camp, you know, Martina talked to me about how the CIA released documents that aliens exist and blah blah blah, etc., etc. Mind you, I had already known this beforehand. She was obviously just trying to find a way to get me to open up to her and you know, manipulate me, etc., etc., because she's a horrible piece of shit motherfucker. And then what else? Let me think. Oh, this is what I noticed too. So, mind you, when we met 2018, she wouldn't talk about the things she was talking about now. And mind you, I would make videos all the time in 2020 when I was in Florida, and even in Peru before things happened. So I just expose a lot of things. I talk about all my ideas and anything that was downloaded and uploaded to me, and you know, just listening to my intuition and connecting these dots, etc., etc., and just putting two and two together, you know, doing all this shit. And that's when she suddenly starts talking about like after, because I know she's watched my videos, she subscribed to my channel, you know, how do you hide something in plain sight? Like, she made it so obvious that she's just there, you know. And the fact that we can't have, like, take down people subscribe to our channel is really fucking frustrating, nor can we know who's really subscribed to us. But my point is, she would watch my videos, and so did David, the so-called shaman that did a ritual on me. Mind you, Martina also mentioned this. They do eggs with the S in front of it. Just put that together right quick. Eggs ritual. She mentioned, like, when I got here, she was like, oh, you know, people do eggs rituals because a lot of energy is created when doing that. And I was very disturbed when she said that, because I was like, so that's what you're doing with me? You're just taking advantage of me and shit. That was my intuition speaking, but I obviously suppressed it at the time. Or didn't listen to it as I should have at the time, but, you know, now I'm here, so it's okay. Well, it's not, but, you know, I'm a lot better. There's like nobody here. And that car still hasn't moved. Yeah. It's a weird day. Like, I understand it's Monday, but it's just something feels off, but very eerie and at the same time very powerful about today. So yeah, she says that about eggs ritual with the S in front of eggs. And I'm just like, interesting. And the reason I brought that comment up is because, like, they do these rituals, and I was finding out about it, especially with the Pizza Hut, minus the Hut Gate community or whatever, you know. A lot of shit was coming to my mind. I was just very awake and afraid of all the information that was coming to me. I was just flooded with so many things. And I was exposing a lot of things, which is why they decided to kidnap me, you know, try to shut me down. Okay, that's really weird. I know they just walked from here to there, walked down the street, and went all the way around in order just to get into the school. That's really weird. Okay, so yeah, that's just odd. And I do remember feeling SA'd, actually assaulted with S in front, when I was doing that so-called ritual with a shaman, right, who was white. He wasn't even indigenous, so he has no right practicing that. Also, yeah, I remember one time I was talking to this one bitch that Maria had me doing so-called therapy with. And she was talking about how slavery, but with an S in front of it, was still happening, you know, to so many different people all the time, 24/7, etc., from all over the world, etc. And that's just interesting to think about. And how do you do that? You hide it in plain sight. Like, I remember I was on the bus, and the bus next to me had a sign about trafficking, and to report it. And at the motel when I was with Martina, there was also a sign about it. And I remember looking at it, and I'm like, that's what's happening, isn't it? Like, it was a warning sign, but I wasn't really, like, you know, listening to it. Yeah, so just thoughts, man. There's just some thoughts. So, okay. Yeah. Yeah, there's weird shit going on. Intuition's speaking, so it's time. Because this weird truck just parked there. You know, they claim to be doing gardening and shit, but I know the grass has been recently cut because it's not too long. And mind you, there's only one. Usually there's about 4 people or 4 different, like, units that come, so. And I remember, I think that was the very exact spot the last cop was parked at for no reason. He just came over through the grass from that way and parked that way, facing me while I was doing my own thing. So, yeah, I just have a bad feeling. I just listened to it. Yeah. Got dust all over my phone. Yeah, weird shit happens. Can't really see that well, to be honest. But you know, nothing's coincidental. And mind you, it's like maybe 1 or 2 o'clock. Last time I was here, it was a different Yeah, oh, and that's the weird white one. Yeah, he's supposedly gonna pick up trash, if you can see in the background. There is quite a bit of trash. I remember last time I was sitting over there when the cop came and just parked where he is parked. Yeah. Just weird shit. That's funny because they try to intimidate you. 22. Yeah. And it's important that you just pay attention to the signs around you and within you. You know, you're always being spoken to. Like sometimes we just get charged with the negativity and we get afraid. But mind you, they're just warnings, and that's what you have to do. Listen to it and be like, okay, you know, that reminds me of Maria. Like, we were driving, listening to Sadhguru. I remember. That's pretty detailed. We were driving. I don't know where the fuck we were supposed to be going, but it was a weird ass trail. We've never been around that area before. And mind you, we've been living in Cali for like the longest time. And she just decides to go down this one-way street, a dead-end street. And how do I know that? Because there were so many signs that said it's a dead end. And I told her multiple times, this is a dead-end street. And she's like, no, it's not. Like, let's keep going. Like, maybe we'll find something. The fact that there's literal signs saying it's a dead-end street in red. And you decide to gaslight me and be like, no, it's not. Like, I just find that funny. I think it's kind of funny. Yeah, so, just interesting. I feel like that's all I have to say. Oh, yeah. I should probably refill this. Yeah. I swear, next time I like go out in a car ride, I'm gonna take a picture of every single church I see, because the fact that there's so many, and literally one right across from where I live, like, that's just like, shit's off. I just remember this coworker got their car stolen and they can't find it. Like, the cops don't care to find it. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Shum. Okay. Well, I love you. Take care. I'm about to go inside. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you want. Go ahead and share